What's up, y'all? Welcome back Pitchside with Parker to a preview of the Europa League semifinals. That's right, it's Arsenal taking on Villarreal. And in this preview, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about Villarreal, their tactics, players to watch out for, key matchups for both teams, and also at the end, I will give a predicted starting lineup for Arsenal as well, so be sure to stick around through the whole video for that. Now, obviously, this is a massive matchup, and it does go beyond the field. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta, I have to be honest, are two of the people that have directly caused me a whole lot of pain over the past couple of years. It has not been a fun time as an Arsenal fan, and now we have to face our demons in a competition which by itself has given us a lot of demons. It's momentous, and I think this will be a very emotional game for some of the players. I mean, you think of somebody like Nicolas Pepe, who Emery didn't even want to sign. He's come out and said that in the press afterwards. He repeatedly benched Pepe. He didn't give him opportunities. Now Pepe is starting to show his real quality with Arsenal, and he will be looking for a chance to bury his old coach. I think there's going to be a handful of players on this Arsenal team that are going to really relish an opportunity to send Emery packing, and I'm sure so will a number of Arsenal fans, myself very much included. However, looking at it from a different perspective, Arsenal are also lower in the league than they ever finished under Emery. And there's already a lot of criticism around Mikel Arteta. Arsenal has continued to back him. But if you go out in the Europa League to the person that you replaced, and you're still finishing lower in the league, okay, he won the FA Cup, but there's no denying at that point that Arsenal has regressed since he took over from where they were under Unai Emery. So I would understand if Arsenal do lose this tie, that some fans might be calling for Arteta's job. This is truly make or break. This is massive stuff, and I cannot wait to get into the preview. But before we do all of that, as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I make lots of Arsenal content. I do match reviews after every game, so you can tune in on Thursday for my reaction to the first leg. I make lots of other soccer, women's soccer, all kinds of content on my channel. So click around and I'm sure you'll find something you like. And last but not least, hit that like button before we even get into the preview, because that's what we do on this channel. So let's start the preview by taking a look at Villarreal's season. Villarreal are currently 7th in La Liga, trailing Real Betis and Real Sociedad for the 2 Europa League spots. So they do have a little bit left to play for in the La Liga season, but they've been pretty middle of the table, which has been pretty much the pace that they've set over the past several seasons. They have lost their last 2 games in La Liga to Alaves and Barcelona. Definitely no shame in losing to Barcelona, but the Alaves result was not great for them. However, before that, they had won 8 out of their last 9 games in all competitions. So, I mean, this is a team that has been up and down, but more so lately, they have been more up than they have been down. And that great run of form, 8 out of 9 wins, started in the round of 16 of the Europa League. And if we look at their Europa League path, they had a super easy group that consisted of Maccabi Tel Aviv, Karabag, and Sivasspor out of Turkey. In the knockouts, they eliminated RB Salzburg, Dinamo Kiev, and Dinamo Zagreb. So again, not exactly murderer's row, but you could say the same thing about Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal's group of Dundalk, Molde, and Rapid Vienna was not exactly world beaters either. And maybe you could argue that Benfica and Olympiacos were tougher than some of the teams that Villarreal played. But either way, I would say for the most part, this is going to be by far the hardest game that either team has played in this competition so far. And one pattern that I did notice looking at their Europa League fixtures in the knockouts so far is that they've won the first leg of each game, giving them a more comfortable position heading into the second leg. That is not something that can be said for Arsenal, who've made a habit of especially drawing the first leg. So Villarreal have looked good in those first set of games, and they've kept a shutout in every single one so far. So I would expect them to come out strong in this first leg, and that does worry me a little bit as an Arsenal supporter. Next, let's take a look at the roster of this Villarreal team, and there will be a lot of familiar faces. Villarreal is led by 2 elder statesmen of La Liga, Dani Parejo and Raul Albiol, Parejo, of course, spent a long time at Valencia, and Raul Albiol used to play for Real Madrid. Typically, they play in a 4-4-2 system under Emery, but as Arsenal fans will surely know, he does like to tinker around a bit, so there's a chance we could see a 4-3-3 maybe, but most of their games recently, he's gone with a 4-4-2. And the two up top are Gerard Moreno and Paco Alcacer. Moreno is by far the most dangerous player on this team. He's got 26 goals in all competitions, 20 in La Liga. Only one other player on the team even has more than 10 goals in all competitions besides Moreno, and that is Alcacer, his strike partner. So definitely all eyes will be on Villarreal's number 7. He's an immensely talented finisher. He can finish a lot of different ways. He can cut inside on his left foot from the right forward position. He's very crafty in and around the box. He doesn't have elite pace, but he can get behind on occasion, and he is a big player as well, so he can be physical. He can be a problem in the air. He's really a do-it-all striker, and his goal tally shows that. Something to keep an eye on as well for him is that 11 penalty kicks have inflated his goal tally a little bit, but what that does say about him is that he's 11 for 11 in all competitions this season. So do not give up fouls, because if you do, Gerard Moreno will punish you from the penalty spot, and that is yet another thing that he is very good at. And if all that wasn't enough, he also leads the team with 9 assists in all competitions, so literally he is the heartbeat of this team, and Arsenal's number one job in this game is going to be to figure out a way to shut him down. In terms of the rest of the team, Villarreal do have a couple of young, talented players who are gathering attention from other teams. One of those is Pau Torres, who has shown himself to be one of the great young up-and-coming Spanish center halves. And also Samuel Chukwueze, who plays right wing for them. He's left-footed, so he likes to do that cut inside. He's very tricky, very pacey winger. He's a Nigerian international, and he's part of that young Nigerian generation that is coming up and trying to make some noise with the Super Eagles. So he's definitely somebody to look out for as well in this game. And he did score the last time out against Barca. And then if you want to look a little deeper down the roster, this is really like a very funny assembly of players. So if you're a Premier League fan, if you're an Arsenal fan watching this video, but you don't know much about Villarreal, you're going to recognize a lot of these players because a lot of them have played in the Premier League before or just elsewhere around Europe. Some of those names include Etienne Capoue, Funes Mori, Juan Foyth, who played at Tottenham, Carlos Bacca, the Colombian bagsman who actually led Sevilla to the Europa League when they were coached by Unai Emery, Alberto Moreno, who used to play at Liverpool, and of course, Arsenal's own Francis Coquelin. As I said, it's just kind of a funny collective of players led by this esoteric manager in Unai Emery. So now that you know a little bit about the roster, who should we be worried about? As I mentioned, number one threat has to be Gerard Moreno, but the player in terms of matchups that I'm really worried about in this game is Samuel Chukwueze. Chukwueze plays off the right, which is also the same side of the strikers that Moreno plays on. So that right-hand duo of Moreno and Chukwueze operating up the right flank into the middle and in that half space, that's what really worries me for Arsenal, because Arsenal have looked very uncertain in that left back position since Kieran Tierney went out. Does Arteta go with Xhaka at left back? That's what he's been going with since Tierney's most recent injury. Of course, he could always go with Cedric out there, but Cedric hasn't really gotten a lot of minutes lately. So this is a real area of concern for Arsenal going against basically two of their most dangerous attacking players. I'm very nervous, and then when you combine, if Xhaka is playing left back, if Pablo Mari is playing left center back, and then Dani Ceballos is playing on that side of midfield, that is a lineup that we have seen recently from Arsenal. The issue there is a severe lack of pace. Chukwueze is somebody who can exploit that, and Gerard Moreno, with his intelligent movement and his ability to finish and get in behind and just be an absolute pest for the center halves, it makes me very concerned. Another way that Villarreal could potentially hurt Arsenal in this game is through penalties. I mentioned it briefly before, but Gerard Moreno has not missed one this season, and they will know that. What else will they know? They'll know that Arsenal give away a ton of stupid decisions. They make bad plays, they give away penalties, they get red cards. This is something that sadly has been ingrained in the Arsenal DNA over the past few seasons. Again, Unai Emery will know this as well as anybody, and so I'm sure he's going to be telling the players, sell every call, go down in the box, make the most of it, get in the ref's ear. Because if they catch Arsenal slipping even for a moment, Gerard Moreno is not going to miss a penalty kick, and that is something I could see potentially harming Arsenal, so defenders really got to be on point. Now, I'm not going to spend this entire video talking about Villarreal and everything they can do, because Arsenal should pose a threat here as well. So what are the areas that Arsenal can exploit from this Villarreal lineup? Coming into Thursday, there are massive question marks about the striker position for Arsenal, with the fitness of Lacazette and Aubameyang in doubt. I will give my thoughts later on about who is going to start there, because it's definitely up for debate. It could be Nketiah, could be Martinelli, maybe Balogun, who has just signed a new contract. But the bottom line is, whoever starts there, we may not be able to rely on for goals. So Arsenal will need contributions from the midfield, and they will need contributions from out wide. So that's where I'm going to focus. If I was to pick an area that Arsenal should have success against Villarreal, it is also on Villarreal's right side. Yes, they have good attackers going that way, but on the defensive side of things, it's a lot less certain. Juan Foyth is the one who's been playing there recently. He's played in their last few games, but he is naturally a center back, so he does have a few of those issues where positionally he's not always in the perfect spot. He sometimes doesn't know when to go forward and come back. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but what I've seen from Juan Foyth, especially in his time at Tottenham, I wasn't terribly impressed. I know he's improved since he's gone to Villarreal, but I'm taking Pepe, I'm taking Saka, I'm taking Smith Rowe. Whoever is playing on the left, I will take Arsenal in that matchup, and I will take it to the bank. And then if you look at the midfield battle, this is an area that Arsenal should also control. I mean, Arsenal most likely will be playing a 4-2-3-1, which leaves 3 players in the center of midfield, whereas Villarreal play a 4-4-2, which is leaving only 2 players there. However, the 2 players they typically play there, which would be Chukwueze and Parejo, they're 2 of the best out at controlling a midfield. And Parejo especially, he is an absolute maestro. I mean, this guy has been running it in La Liga for years and years and years. He was always key to Valencia's success, and although they have fell off recently, he certainly has not, and he's been crucial. He plays pretty much every minute for Villarreal. He is one of the best in the world at playing in a midfield too. He knows the 4-4-2 like the back of his hand, and he's just such a smart, intelligent, crafty player that I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if Arsenal did not dominate that midfield area. Because let's be honest, the players we're talking about here that would have to do it for Arsenal, Ceballos, potentially Xhaka, Thomas Partey has not been great recently. There are some question marks there. But either way, it should be a very interesting matchup. And as I said, Arsenal does have the numerical advantage, so you'd expect them to have at least a little bit of success. And hopefully whoever plays in the number 10 can chip in a goal or an assist, and that would do a lot for Arsenal with the questions at striker. So on that note, let's get into a predicted Arsenal 11. I will put it up right here on the screen so you can see the whole thing. But going back to front, it's going to be Leno in goal. That much is certainly clear. The back line is a lot less clear, but this is my guess for the back 4. Bellerin did play in the last couple of games against Slavia Prague, so my guess is that he slots in at right back, even though Chambers has been playing there more often. And again, this is not the lineup I would go with, but this is a predicted 11. At center half, Holding and Marie have played the majority of games. Gabriel is the only other player that might sneak in there, but Marie has played more recently, and Gabriel I don't think has played since the first leg of Slavia Prague. So I think it's pretty unlikely that he comes back in here. And then at left back, it could be Xhaka, but I'm going to say Cedric. I hope that Arteta is smart enough to realize that Chukwueze is going to cause big problems with his pace, and he needs somebody faster than Xhaka on the left-hand side. No, Cedric is not a natural left back. No, he has not been fantastic when he's played there this season, but in this game, I think he's the best option, which does move Xhaka into midfield, and I think he will play there alongside Thomas Partey. That is a very strong pivot. And then as we move into the 3 attacking midfielders, my guess is that Saka will play on the left, Smith Rowe through the middle, and Pepe on the right. Odegaard, I'm not totally sure if he will be fit for this game or not. I think he is working his way back towards that, but he hasn't got a lot of game time recently, so I say rock with Smith Rowe and just let him keep performing the way that he has been. Up top, this is the big question mark. Now you can see right there that it says Nketiah. I listed Martinelli as well because Martinelli did get a few minutes against Everton through the middle towards the end of that game. So maybe Arteta was trying it out, but who started that game? It was Nketiah. It's not really what anybody's asking for. I know a lot of people want to see Martinelli. A lot of people want to see Balogun. Personally, if I were the manager, I would probably start Martinelli. But again, this is a predicted 11. And I think more likely than not, you're going to see Nketiah starting up top for Arsenal on Thursday. However, there is a slight chance that Aubameyang could be back for this. The most recent news that I've read is that he's been back in training and he's just working back towards fitness. To me, what that means is that he probably won't start, but he will be available off the bench. And he would certainly be an option for the second leg. Again, more likely than not, it's going to be Nketiah, so don't get your hopes up for anything else, Arsenal fans. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope this gave you some insight on the game, got you excited. I hope you learned something. If you did, smash that like button for me one time if you didn't already. It really helps the videos, it helps the channel grow. And speaking of the channel growing, we're almost at 400 subscribers, so help get me over that mark by subscribing to the channel if you're new. And again, if you click around, I'm sure you will find something you like around here. So that's going to be all from me. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.